I'm a domestic referee partner to a sheep farm enterprise in Western District, Victoria. This is an account of my personal experience in farming over 40 years of financial insecurity. Not just my story, but the story of many farm women over the past 40 years, or since man has farmed. Purchasing all land without inheritance from the beginning, 111 acres, we married in 1975 to the first of the high Australian interest rates, inflation and wage rises. I continue to work to subsidise the farm while husband was shearing. Coming home from work in 1976 to find I was shifting house, leasing land, buying sheep, having spent all my savings, had agreed to an advance from father-in-law. So much for Rimmons Lib. We survived the 1982-3 drought by sacking the shearer. I prepared the wool while husband shore, our 2 children watching TV, cot and toys in the wool shed. Some stock was sold, only to receive a bill from the agent, who was happy. They'd received a bid on them. Many other lots didn't. Fed sheep on the road while sorting the washing, meeting the neighbour at the corner. She knitted and delivered containers of strawberries. December 1987, we joined other sheep farmers in a fight with nature to save our stock. 24 hours of rain with driving winds, cutting fences, driving cold, stressed sheep to whatever shelter we had. Their deaths saw us plant plantations, not only to help our stock, but the native birds and animals of our district. Today we work on a bandicoot habitat program in conjunction with Landcare. Further land purchase found us in 1991 after purchasing adjoining land in 1988 with the reserve price for wool removed for wool growers, which was felt by many of the world's wool buying mills as well. Australia, with the recession we had to have, or the Banana Republic, by the government. We again faced high interest rates. Sheep farmers considered a bad risk. We again sacked the shearer, the same poor man. His comment, "You aren't the first call for the week, and I don't expect you to be the last," and did the work ourselves. We survived by using outside investments, never to be returned, while other wool growers around us were sold up, changed to different enterprises, breakdowns in relationships and suicides, not only in the farming community, but all over Australia affected, no matter where you lived or worked. Houses lost, high unemployment, uncertain times. I won a game of squatter after entering a competition for the uses of the wool stockpile. I completed a study in the Certificate of Rural Office Practice where I met women surviving the same experiences across many rural occupations. Also, to encourage the children that education was valued and maybe all the farm could give them to make their way in their lives. This experience affected the children also, as they were older than in the drought and remembered the struggle. The impact of saying no to school excursions, extracurricular activities, holidays, clothes, and everyday necessities. In the 1990s, we experienced a large-scale planting of blue gums, which meant that the district population and the community was reduced. Acres of blue gums now became home to vermin, including foxes, weeds, kangaroos, koalas, all in plague proportion, causing destruction of fences, pastures, trees and motor vehicles. Today we live with a failed blue gum scheme, a landscape with degraded soil, and the possibility of land returning to normal farm production, which may cause supply and demand income fluctuations in the future. What happens with succession planning, rising age? Do we work to the grave? We, along with the world, have experienced the 2009 GFC, with income dropping 80% more than in the 1992 downturn. As older people, farmers, not able to make the same work changes. Chinese income on Australian expense account, as China purchases 80% of Australia's wool. We find ourselves having survived all that nature and the governments have thrown at us for 42 years. The owners of 1,180 acres, 2 operating sheep studs, including award-winning merino acknowledgements. We've met farmers with the same interest, along the way experiencing activities we never thought possible 40 years ago. Meeting other wool sheep growers, mill tours and their owners from around the world. Children have flown the nest with their own relationships and careers, but Grandma is a good backstop.